Yeah, obviously it was had a lot of adversity yesterday. The thing that we did was we kept fighting, kept battling, and we just got to do a better job of really doing a good job of that before that end of the half. Making sure that we don't give up the ball 2 times. That was 10 points there, and we got to do a good job of protecting the football at that moment.
So let's talk about the offense with Justin Fields. Now that you reviewed the film, what did you think of Justin's performance?
Yeah, I thought we incorporated some different things in there that we like to see. The shots were in there. I thought we had 5 shots down the field. We did have the one catch in the fourth quarter, which DJ did a nice job of catching one-handed on the sideline. We had a couple of drops there. I thought Justin threw a couple of good passes there. Certainly did a good job of getting Justin out of the pocket a little bit more, getting him on the edge. And we thought we had some chances down the field there as well. But overall, we just need to do a better job of executing and get the ball on the field.
Coach, what concerns you most? Is it Fields or the offensive line? Because, as you know, the 99 yards, that's not good enough against anybody, including Kansas City. So what concerns you most about this offense and getting it in a productive manner?
Yeah, it's really the whole group. We got to just do a better job with the execution piece of it. We really do. Just I know that we had 3 offensive linemen out, but that's not an excuse. Guys got to step up, and we just got to do a good job of making sure we're executing at a high clip. And again, our eyes are going to be focused on Denver. It's on this week, and I told the guys in the locker room to focus. Have fight. Focus 1 week at a time, and this is all we have control of right now is Denver.
Well, look at your defense. What is your unit not doing to make bigger splash plays?
Yeah, I would just say, right now the run defense has been good, and that's one of the emphases we've been focusing on. But I would say that we have to do a good job of, making sure that we're vision on the quarterback, breaking on the ball. We had a couple opportunities there. It was good to see that we got 2 interceptions late there in the game. That was a positive. We had a couple of chances early on the first down to get an interception. But we want to make sure that we got to get the ball because that's the difference. We scored 10 points off of those turnovers that we got on defense. That's how we score, on our offense is getting short fields and always getting them a positive side of the field.
I need your help as far as man and zone when it comes to defense. This is your specialty, so I need your help with this. So in the first 3 games, we've seen holes. We've seen in the passing and the running games. So why are offenses being able to produce against your defense the way they have as of late? Coach? Coach is breaking up.
Hello, check.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, yep, yeah. So really, it's just about being, we have different coverages that we have. We have match coverages, we got zone coverages, and we mix those things up. We just got to do a good job with, being in the right spot at the right time, in terms of our zones. And then when we're matching people, we got to do a good job with the match principles. We're tightening those things up, and we're getting there.
Matt Eberflus, the head coach for the Chicago Bears, on Cap and J Hood on ESPN 1000 and streaming on the ESPN Chicago app. 0-3, and we talk about the hits principle. It's something that you brought into Chicago. Monday through Saturday, when I hear you speak to the press, you talk about how you have good practices, but it just doesn't seem to translate to game day. I just want to know, how difficult has it been for you, for players to buy into this hits principle on game day?
Definitely, I would say that they're doing it in practice. We see really good effort in the games. It's just about the execution piece of it. We got to do a good job of that as coaches and players. And when you do that, when you execute and play fast, good things are going to happen.
How concerned are you about the depth on this team with injuries that you've suffered? There's inexperience in places on the field on both sides of the football.
Yeah, that's around the league. We're not going to make excuses. The guys got to come in there and step in. We got to do a great job of coaching them up. If that's at defensive back or if that's at offensive line or wherever your injury is, we got to do a good job with the guys that are backing those guys up. They got to step in and perform.
You've been around football for a long time, and I hear you talk about culture and staying together, and that's important. There's no question about that. But there's got to be a time in your career or a situation where players are bickering at each other or there was a disconnect. What did that look like, and how was it solved?
Yeah, it's all about the relationship piece. Okay, we know looking at each other, telling each other the truth, and being a good teammate. And I always talk about modeling behavior, and that's the behavior you want to see. And we want to see guys that work, that have a positive attitude, that are coming to work every day and putting the work in, and having a can-do attitude. And those guys in our locker room have that. And, I believe in those guys in there, and we're going to get that done. Again, it's a long season. We've played 3 games, and we're working to get better every single week. And all we can focus on right now is Denver, and that's 1 week at a time, and that's what we're going to do.
There had to be, for you to be able to come up with that, though, when you talk about culture, there had to be a situation where you saw that in real time and say, this has got to get better. Did that happen in your career that you remember?
It's happened here and there, but when you got good teammates and when you got good people that we have here in our building right now, and that's all we're going to focus on is, we're going to get this thing right, because we have the guys that love football, and that's the number one trait of these Chicago Bears. They love ball, and they're hard workers, okay, and we're going to get this thing right, because when you do that over and over and over again, we're going to make sure that this thing goes in the right direction.
So Gay with a forearm to the helmet of Justin Fields, there's no reason for him to be in the ball game at that point. He goes to the blue tent, he comes out. Why did you put him back in the ball game at that point?
Yeah, because he was cleared. He was cleared. There was nothing, no issue there, and we put him back in.
Was there a likelihood that Justin would sit the rest of the game because the game was out of hand?
No, I just think that we need to continue to work together. We missed some reps during preseason because of injury. I just think that we need to work together, and the more time on task we can have together, the better it is. We had that nice drive at the end in the fourth quarter. We scored 10 points there at the end. So to me, that's all positive, and it's working in the right direction.
So, as you well know, as someone who's been around for football a long time, there's always going to be injuries. There's going to be issues in preseason where there's injuries or someone's going to sit out, whatever the issue is. It's funny you mentioned preseason, because I'll ask you, how much are the preseason absences that you dealt with and the injuries the reason why the ball club's 0-3 today?
Certainly you could look at that, because there's not time on task working with each other because of the O-line, the secondary, the issues that we have with injury right now. They didn't get a chance to work together during training camp and or during preseason. So you can certainly look at that as a time on task thing. But again, that's not an excuse. We got to make sure that they're ready and they're going at a good clip. And we're working diligently right now to making sure those guys, those areas get corrected and get detailed out.
Coach, this is a tough run for everybody. I mean, the fans, obviously, you guys in the building. So how difficult is this on you? Again, 0-3, going against Denver. You mentioned yesterday to the press that at some point you're going to have to break out of this where everyone plays together. But how difficult is this on you? You're talking to the team all the time. Your guys are scheming it up, and it just has not resulted in what you want. Yeah,
I just told them, hey, you got to hang tight together. This is why we brought you guys here, because of the fight mentality you have in your heart. And you're definitely a Chicago Bear because you love football, and you have to exhibit that every single day. And we have to pull together, okay? When all this the outside noise is going to happen, we got to pull together to focus one game at a time, one practice at a time, one rep at a time, and we have to do it together. We got to play complementary football. When we do that, it's going to be good. We had 2 takeaways yesterday late in that game, and guess what? We scored 10 points, and that's what I'm talking about. We got to do a great job of that, having complementary football, and we got to do that during the course of the entire game.
Coach, do you foresee Bagent being active for the Denver game?
Yeah, we'll make those decisions as we go through the week, as we're going here, and we'll do what's best for the Bears.
What's the latest on the injuries for your ball club?
Right now, I really have no updates on that. I haven't met with the medical staff yet, but we'll see where it is when we get there.
Yeah, lastly, I want to talk to you about distractions, because you've talked about this all week leading into the Kansas City game. Coach, and like I know, there's social media, there's outside sources. As much as you try to tamp that down, there can be distractions. Do you feel like without Alan Williams being around, everything that happened this week, that the team totally was undistracted by it? I think that there had to be some of that seeping in because it was a wild week last week.
Yeah.
Coach, go ahead.
Yes, you're still there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, we're not going to make excuses. We're not going to have, excuses or explanation for those types of things. We're just going to focus, and it's our job as pro athletes, pro football coaches. We got to do a good job of focusing in and limiting those distractions and keep our eyes on the main thing, and that's the practice and the execution.
This is Broncos week. What is your message to Bears fans going into this game?
Yeah, that we're going to be working diligently. We're going to focus one week at a time. We're going to focus and we're going to fight to get this done. And we're going to focus on this week and this week alone.